Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into an absolutely epic ancient story, one filled with cosmic compassion. But hidden inside it, there's a secret, a kind of blueprint for enlightenment. So let's dive right in.
So, let's start with this statement from the Buddha himself, and it's just mind-bending. Now, he wasn't talking about the number of stars in the sky or grains of sand on every beach on Earth. He was talking about the number of people, of beings, that had been helped and saved by one single individual. I mean, that just begs the question, right? Who on earth is this being, Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva? And where does someone get that kind of power? A compassion so huge, so bottomless, that even a fully enlightened Buddha can't quantify its impact. To even try and give us a sense of this scale, the Buddha used a pretty wild metaphor. And honestly, it feels like it was designed to just completely break our idea of what a big number even is. Just try to follow this for a second. It's a trip. You start with 1,000 worlds, not one, 1,000, and you count every plant, tree, grain of sand, every speck of dust. Now take that insane number and imagine that many Ganges rivers. Then you count every single grain of sand in all of those rivers. And then you imagine that many worlds, where each grain of sand is an eon of time. Look, the point isn't to get out a calculator. The point is to feel just how boundless this compassion is. It's completely beyond our normal way of thinking.
So, how does something like this even start? Where does this cosmic level compassion come from? Well, to find out, we got to go all the way back to the source. And it wasn't some Big Bang event. It was just a single moment.
The story goes like this. Countless eons ago, there's this young man, the son of an elder. And one day he meets a Buddha, who is just described as radiant, magnificent, awe-inspiring. And seeing this, the son is just completely floored. He walks up and asks a really simple, direct question. How? How did you do that? How can I become like you?
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The Buddha gives him the instruction. If you want to achieve this, you have to spend a long time helping every single suffering being. But the son, he doesn't just nod and say, okay. No, he takes that idea and cranks it up to infinity. He makes a vow right then and there. I will find a way to help them all. And I won't rest. I won't even achieve my own final enlightenment until every last one of them is free.
And this all gets summed up in that famous, incredible vow. Until the hells are empty, I will not become a Buddha. This one sentence is the very core of his identity. It's the engine for everything he does. It's what keeps him a bodhisattva. And that's the key here. A bodhisattva is someone who deliberately puts off their own nirvana just so they can stay and help everyone else. And for eons, this vow is what has fueled all of his work.
But here's the thing. This incredible narrative isn't just a story to inspire us. According to the source material, it's actually a sophisticated allegory. It's a kind of story map for a complete spiritual practice. And that map is a famous Buddhist framework called the 37 Aids to Enlightenment. It's this whole comprehensive system of practices that guides you on the path to awakening. Don't worry, we're not going to list all 37 today. But what's amazing is that the entire story of Kṣitigarbha, from that first vow to all his actions, is a perfect illustration of some of its most important parts.
So this raises a really cool idea. Could it be that this ancient story, this vow made eons ago, isn't just a promise? That it's actually a code, a hidden blueprint that contains all the key elements for a powerful path to transformation?
All right, so let's put on our detective hats. Let's try to decode this thing and see exactly how Kṣitigarbha's vow and his incredible powers line up perfectly with these deep philosophical teachings.
Okay, first, just look at the vow itself. It's a perfect match for a core practice called the Four Right Exertions. Preventing evil from happening in the first place? Check. That's his promise to devise skillful means. Abandoning evil that's already there? Check. That's him going into the lower realms to liberate beings. Arousing good? He inspires faith in others. And developing good, well, he's promised to stick with it until they are all liberated. You see? The vow is the practice.
Okay, so the vow is the engine, right? It's the tireless motivation that keeps him going. But what about his actual abilities? The power to travel between realms and actually help all those beings. Where did that come from?
Well, guess what? The story explains that too, with something called the 4 bases of power. First, desire, that intense, burning wish he had to be like the Buddha. Second, effort, his relentless practice over literally hundreds of thousands of millions of eons. Third, mind, the focused, unwavering concentration you'd need for a job like that. And finally, wisdom, the deep insight to understand karma and know exactly how to help. These aren't magic tricks, they're mental skills, and the story shows us exactly how they were developed.
So when you put all these pieces together, the crazy numbers, the origin story, the philosophical code, what you get is a really profound truth about the power of intention itself.
This entire cosmic drama, spanning all of time and space, saving more beings than we can possibly imagine, it all boils down to one thing. One, a single moment, a single powerful, completely selfless intention made by one person an eternity ago.
And that's the ultimate takeaway. This story isn't just a cool legend about a deity. It's a grand metaphor for all of us. It shows us pretty powerfully that the depth and the purity of our intention is what determines the scale and the impact of our actions.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, one question to carry with us. If a single vow, made long ago, could shape eternity, then what's the power of the intentions that you and I are setting right here today?